How big is the crowd for Liverpool? How much of a difference does it make?
Yeah, but it makes a massive difference, doesn't it? I think it was 87, we're getting beat 2-1 by Charlton with 5 minutes to go, and we end up winning 3-2. It was recognised within the ground. Now.
One thing the fans have done well, they've stayed on side with the team when things haven't perhaps been going to plan. That hasn't always been the case.
But the big one's the 4-3 against City. Van Dijk had just signed, but he wasn't even playing. And everyone just sort of went, look at what we can do.
I remember sitting or going on tour with them in 2018 after they'd lost the Champions League and coming away from that tour thinking, these fancy themselves, that they could be champions, and I fancy them. Was there a moment when you thought something had changed with Liverpool? Because they lost the Europa League, they lost the League Cup, they lost the Champions League final, so they've had to do something to get to the stage where they're winning those trophies now.
I think winning the Champions League last year helped an awful lot because that gave them the belief, because you then go on to the Super Cup and you go on to the Club World Cup. But what this team's managed to do is take the disappointments, because I know you said before, they were disappointed. I've spoken to a few of the players and they said that they look back at it and go, they were hurt the fact they got 97 points, and they thought, man, we got 97 points, we thought that would surely be enough to win it. So they've taken that and used it as a positive, whereas for so many teams, and I think the teams in the past were always stretching, weren't they? 13-14 team was always stretching. You always felt they were playing beyond their capabilities to get to where they were, this season. And the points tally they got last season, I don't think anybody's thinking, oh, they've massively outstretched themselves there. It's become par for the course for this team because of what they've got on the pitch, but more importantly, what they've got in their heads, the character they've got. Klopp has mentioned it so many times, and that's something that he's built.
They've been indisputably the best team in the country for 18 months, and I think even before that, you look at the period from after they get beat at Spurs in October 2017. I think from then, if it wasn't for Manchester City playing football beyond Championship football, they've been playing Championship football. You look at all comps, they get to the final in 2018, win the thing in 2019, 97 points. This is an amazing team, and I think that's it's been phenomenal to watch them go through that process, to live it. And the manager's talked all the way through about the journey, and he's been Jan said before, he's been proven right about all sorts. He's been proven right about that as well. It's been a journey to get us here with him over a period, and now we're here, and it's just absolutely fantastic.
It's not easy to get 97 points and then come back and be just as hungry or just as...
No, we got 97 points and weren't disappointed. We understood what this is about, isn't it? This was about City getting 98. So if City are capable of getting 98 or 100, we have to get 105.
That's exactly what I thought they came into the attitude of. So we've got together and had that mentality, and the Champions League win does help in that. For me, if you're looking for a turnaround game last 2 years, Munich away, I think is one where they realise this is how good we are. The swagger that day, the way Mane finishes the first, but in general, to go to Munich, to win that game like that, and that's from there, they didn't look back. They won every league game the rest of the season, got rid of Porto, got rid of Barcelona, won the Champions League, came into this year. They beat Southampton, and they beat Southampton in the end, they're hanging on a little bit, but they beat Southampton 2-1. Same weekend, City get beat by draw with Tottenham. Second game of the season, and I remember thinking, after everything that went on last year, that run in, City winning 18 consecutive games, however many it was, and then suddenly, second game in, City at home to Tottenham, battered them but can't get over the line. I honestly remember thinking...
Score! The winner!
Yeah, and I remember thinking, this to me, it made me think...
A break.
It made me think maybe we've done them, maybe we've took something off them, maybe we've took a layer of skin off them, and then from there you've watched, we didn't take one layer of skin off them, we've took a load of it off them.
Doyle and I were coming back from Southampton in the car, weren't we? Yeah. We stopped at a petrol station, and I was putting the petrol in, and he said, City have gone 3-2, and I went in to pay for the petrol, come out, and he said, VAR. And I remember saying, that's 2 points. And that was August the 15th or something.
No, the maths of that,
2 points.
But it was like as a percentage thing. They could have got 6 points by this point. They've only got 4, and that sounds insane. But it was that early. I was thinking, oh, all right, yeah. Now suddenly there's a gap. We've got a 2-point gap. What after 2 games? Years gone by that you'd sound insane, but there it felt like this is now a thing.
What to say about Liverpool as a club? How many other clubs do you think could have sustained 30 years without a league title and still have the stature and the reputation and the standing of Liverpool? Because Liverpool will always be sort of third favourites for the title, or will we always be in the mix?
There's different aspects to this story where, for instance, you look at the mid-90s side, didn't win what it should have won, played some lovely stuff. That keeps people moving, keeps energy up. Then you get to the Houllier era, where didn't play lovely stuff, won trophies, won European trophies, stayed on the map in that sense. Istanbul obviously powers the club, arguably for sort of 10 years. The Rodgers team doesn't win the league, but again captures a world's imagination if we're honest about it. So I think what Liverpool has done brilliantly, and I think as part of that the supporters are absolutely crucial, integral, that this public keeps coming, keeps admiring, enjoying what it's doing, keeps acting as emissaries for it, saying this is a great club, talks it up, and also the nature of the city itself. I think that, you know, Liverpool's a city that's got the world's attention. I think we can take that a bit lightly, I think, but in sort of, you know, you go abroad, Liverpool is, no one cares if you're from Leeds. Genuinely, and that sounds like I'm being flippant, they don't even know where Leeds is. But if you say you're from Liverpool, they want to talk to you about football, they want to talk to you about the Beatles, they want to talk to you about the Docks, there'll be a sense of something as Liverpool as a place. So I think all of that's added to this feeling of it's not going anywhere here. This is a major thing. How
big is the crowd for Liverpool? How much of a difference does it make? Are we guilty of overplaying it sometimes?
I don't think we are,
because sell it almost.
I think we've probably got it just about right now. I think you can't win that many games at home without having the crowd on side. I mean, you've played in games like this, and what difference does it make?
Yeah, but it makes a massive difference, doesn't it? And it's not something that you will instantly after the game recognise. But I think in time, it's a bit like the team today. In time, they'll be given credit for what they've achieved, but right now they won't. And I think it's the same as players. You know, when we sit around, even today, as we get older, and you talk and you go, yeah, but what about the crowd? Yeah. Little games like, I think it was 87, we're getting beat 2-1 by Charlton with 5 minutes to go, and we end up winning 3-2. And now you'll go, yeah, but what about the crowd? You know, yeah. You know, at the time you'd go, Alan Hansen went and played up front, and you go, but that wasn't really the reason. Yeah. You know, it was recognised within the ground now. And I think that's the incredible thing about Liverpool fans.
One thing the fans have done well this season, last season, is they've stayed on side with the team when things haven't perhaps been going to plan. That hasn't always been the case. Yeah. Certainly not in the 90s and 2000s. They've been quick to jump on. They've shown a lack of patience. The crowd have had to be educated in the ways of back into winning trophies, I think, you know, to stick with them. Things don't always go 100%, and they've had to learn how to win the league. I think the thing about the atmosphere and the reason why it's a thing is that it's not there for 2/3 of games in any way, in any major sense, but then it doesn't need to be. It's the idea that when Jan says, when you need it, you'll call upon it. West Ham is a really good example of one where the crowd was terrible for an hour, and then what happens? We went 2-1 down, and it was as if everyone went, hang on, they need us here. Come on, then let's go. And I think that, but to do that though, you've almost got to learn what your power is again. But the big one's the 4-3 against City, and you can see it, the City players they can barely pass to each other, and I think that said to everyone, Van Dijk had just signed, but he wasn't even playing, and everyone just sort of went, look at what we can do. Look at what we can. And this was City when they were at the best that they played. They were at their absolute peak as a team, and I think that's your turning point. One where it was like, we've done this, we did Dortmund, we did this, but look what we did to Manchester City. They just kept kicking it into touch. Yeah. They just couldn't handle it. They were looking at Guardiola like, what are we meant to do here? Kyle Walker was looking at Guardiola, and Guardiola was going, I don't know, mate. You know, that was the vibe of it. But yeah, listen to the noise, and it wasn't singing. Singing's overrated. It was 50,000 people roaring at a team. One team to attack, the other one trying to terrify them, and Liverpool swamped them 4-1, and that was the power of this is what we can do together.